Good evening, and I'd like to welcome you and call to order our Lucan Biddulph Council meeting for January 2nd, 2024. I would like to acknowledge that I am an ally of Indigenous peoples. The township of Lucan Biddulph is located on the treaty and traditional territory and ancestral lands of many Indigenous peoples and is covered by several Upper Canada treaties. We recognize and celebrate the contributions of Indigenous communities in our shared cultural heritage. Lucan Biddulph is now home to many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit peoples and communities that have a unique relationship with the land and its resources and continue to shape the history and economy of the township. We recognize the unique role of Indigenous communities they have in the development of our communities. The contribution from Indigenous communities ensure the sharing of unique perspectives and traditional knowledge. The township recognizes the importance of consulting with our Indigenous neighbors and communities in an effort to build constructive, cooperative relationships through meaningful engagement to inform our decision-making and build partnerships. We acknowledge historic and ongoing injustices that Indigenous peoples endure in Canada, and we affirm our commitment to honoring Indigenous voices, nations, and cultures, and to moving forward in the spirit of reconciliation and respect. Is there any disclosure of pecuniary interest? Okay, seeing none. So Happy New Year. And 2024 is a big year for Lucan Biddulph. It marks the 25th anniversary of the amalgamation of the village of Lucan and Biddulph Township. This amalgamation was a result of the ruling Progressive Conservatives policy to have smaller municipal governance models. And throughout Ontario, municipalities were asked to amalgamate through the Savings and Restructuring Act of 1996, and that was known as Bill 26. So January 1st, 1999 marked the formal amalgamation and formation of the township of Lucan Biddulph. I encourage our residents to follow our social media as the anniversary will be celebrated throughout the year as we share special memories and much more. This first meeting of the year also allows me to recognize the Mayor's Honor Roll, and I was honored to be able to make the announcement at yesterday's President's Levee at the Legion. This year, we are proud to recognize and congratulate the following for the work that they do to make our community better. We are actually giving out 2 Good Neighbor Awards this year. One is to Bev Noble, who is being recognized for her varied volunteer work throughout the community. She volunteers at Wilberforce, and she is a member of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee. We are also recognizing the Radcliffe real estate team, and they have been known to do many acts of philanthropy throughout Lucan Biddulph. Some are more visible than others. They certainly take on a role of sponsoring many events throughout Lucan Biddulph. This past winter, they ran a very successful coat and boot drive. They have sponsored families throughout the years who need a help up, and we know that their work will continue. For volunteerism and our Citizenship Award, we are recognizing Bev Anderson, and that, of course, is for her work that she's done in the scouting community. Many of our residents will know Bev as a long-term scouting volunteer. She has not only made a difference to the organization, but just think of all the youth that she has had a hand in raising, I would say, for those that have gone through the scouting organization in Lucan Biddulph. And we all know that she has had some health issues over the years, and yet that has not stopped her in finding ways to work with the scouting community. The Sports and Recreation Award is going to Curtis Slogis. Curtis is a competitive wrestler with the Special Olympics, and I dare say he is probably the best ambassador that Lucan Biddulph has. He goes everywhere with a smile on his face, and he's proud to say that he's from Lucan, and he is quite a ambassador for the Special Olympics as well. So congratulations to Curtis. We have 2 young people who are receiving the Youth Award this year. We did recognize them a few years ago as an honorable mention, but we consistently receive nominations for them. And this year, the work that they've done, I think, even exceeded their expectations. And because of that, we felt that it was time to formally put them on the mayor's honor roll. And that is Porter Huffman and Colton Lawrence. And I think we're all familiar with the toy drive that they run every October and November for those kids that might need a few extra gifts under the tree. Their goal this year was to raise $8,000. These young men raised over $11,000. They were able to buy toys for a number of children that were distributed through the Elsa Craig Food Bank. And they sponsored a family through Community Living London, and they also bought a number of gift certificates to support for groceries that will be distributed to families through various organizations. So congratulations to those that made the honor roll this year. I would really encourage our residents to watch for nominations to open up in the fall of 2024 and to think about those that you have seen that have made a difference, both past and present. They can be organizations, they can be businesses, to shape our community. Lucan Biddulph would not be the community it is without the people that put their time towards service to community. So congratulations to all. With that, we do have to go into a closed session, and this is pursuant to Section 239 of the Municipal Act, and it's for education and training of members. And I would ask for a mover and a seconder, and this has to do with the role of the Integrity Commissioner. So I would ask for a mover and a seconder to move us into closed section, please. Councillor Hodgins and Councillor Regan, all in favor?